My name is Igor Štiks and I'm a scholar presently working in Edinburgh. I'm also a writer. I published 2 novels and I also organize Subversive Festival in Zagreb, which is an annual activist gathering that brings people from all over Europe but also from other continents to discuss the issues related, of course, to citizenship, but related to society, to what kind of society we want, and especially how do we want to transform societies that we live in, especially guided by the ideas of social justice, social equality, solidarity, and democratization and participation of citizens. CITSI is a research project based at the law school in Edinburgh, working broadly on citizenship in Southeast Europe, on all different forms of citizenship in Southeast Europe, involving historical development of citizenship in this very dynamic region, to say the least. Here, for instance, we can see the personal documents of one very important Croatian writer, Miroslav Krleža. He was born in Austria-Hungary and lived in at least 5 different states, with 5 different documents, with 5 different identities and 5 different ideological frameworks. He never left Zagreb. But many people in the former Yugoslavia, especially after the breakup, were forced to move to different places, became refugees or stateless, or could not even establish their citizenship. Eventually, many of them ended being dual citizens. What this all means? What does it mean when a federation breaks up and new states are formed? This is what CITSI is researching. And this region, especially the former Yugoslavia, but wider Balkans, do offer interesting examples that really help us to grasp what the meaning of citizenship, be it formal citizenship as belonging to the state, or citizenship as simply what citizens do with themselves, what is their role in political communities, and how, in this context, they act either as active or, as I would say, activist citizens. This project illuminates what European citizenship might be, how it could develop, but also certain risks. Yugoslavia, federal Yugoslavia, as well had 2-tier citizenship, citizenship of republics and citizenship of Yugoslav Federation. There were different interpretations what that citizenship meant back then. Unfortunately, we know how things developed, but it offers again a lot of good lessons about certain institutions such as citizenship, about rights attached to citizenship, and how one struggle for these rights, or how one struggle to protect. Of course, as many things in the Balkans, citizenship is also very complicated, especially because complex, very complex thing, especially because even the term nationality is understood differently. In this region, nationality is understood as ethno-cultural belonging, rather than just formal citizenship. It has different translations, and therefore it also comes into public debate in different forms. But the relationship between formal citizenship and, say, more active citizenship, or citizenship as participation in political community, is extremely important. It means that we have to first have, as Hannah Arendt would say, and everybody after that quoted her, we have to have the right to have rights. And our rights start with citizenship status, having citizenship. Sometimes it might seem to citizens that only having citizenship it amounts to not really much. But when you don't have it, you are then less than zero. You don't have access to certain rights and certain possibilities that citizens have. And in Europe, migrants, legal or illegal, people without papers know very well what is the price of citizenship. It was maybe premature to say that citizenship in a world governed by global human rights will become obsolete. Actually, we are witnessing to proliferation of citizenship, to proliferation of dual and multiple citizenship, or to different redefinitions of this often juridical category, but also to redefinitions of what does it mean to be a citizen in a globalized world that constantly changing. When I say that to be an active citizen is not enough, I have a very particular thing in mind. Being active citizen and active citizenship as such is very often formally defined. It's very often formally defined by state, by community, by political structures. These structures do invite citizens to participate, but in a certain ways, say as part of civil society or mostly voting at elections. Activist citizenship is a citizenship that moves beyond formal spaces of citizenship. Activist citizenship means that you open new spaces, new public spaces for expression of citizenship and new complex political subjectivities. Often activist citizenship is breaking rules and it's often challenging legality. But it's challenging legality in name of legitimacy of demands formed by groups, by individuals, or very often by popular masses. Activism in this respect, it's necessary for citizenship not to be just a controllable space, and in this respect quite undemocratic. However, activism might have very different forms and sometimes maybe not as constructive. I am very interested in alternatives to the current political and economic system, and following these alternatives I think we'll find the seeds of future changes. This is a very good question, because as doing different things in life, as I do, being a scholar and a writer and activist, does give you a different perspective on citizenship. Very often in public sphere I talk as scholar, but scholar whose knowledge and also research is informed by activism. Sometimes it is necessary to cross the formal boundaries of scholarly work and speak in your name and speak and formulate clearly your political demands. This means then activist kicks in. And however, it is important, and this is what my scholarly work taught me, to clearly formulate your demands, to have them based on arguments, and also to be open enough to include different perspectives. Activists will be much more firm, and sometimes it's important to be firm. Writer will try to understand all these processes. Writer will try to let in his fiction all these voices to speak. Will try not to judge as clearly as the activist would do. In this respect, all these three things are complementary, although not always pleasant to live with. Europe of new democratic forms and social equality. That's the Europe I want to live in. Europe where borders do not exist only rhetorical, but where they are not disabling our possibilities to develop new political subjectivities. This will be Europe that I would be happy to be part of. Let's see.